a napkin and it became a limitless scale tech company poised for exit? What if you had a vision of eliminating an inefficiency in your community, industry, or the world, and you had a chance to co-found a company and bring this product or service to the market? What if we could positively impact every social issue with tech? 10x Tech Tank is the #1 daily show for everything tech entrepreneurship. And whether you are technical or not, you will learn, be inspired, and witness transformation in the making. People will share tech ideas on napkins. People will showcase minimum viable tech products. People will explain their cash-flowing tech companies looking for acceleration. And if the person is right, and their idea is right, and the market is right, and the business model is right, then there's a great chance you will witness some serious magic. We are on a mission to build, scale, and sell 10,000 tech companies in 10 years. And we invite you to make history with us. Together, we achieve more.
Welcome to 10x Tech Tank. I'm Jared Yellin, and I'm here with
Eric Noslavsky.
Eric. How excited are you to come back and sit next to me right now?
I am, well, sitting next to you, of course, is going to be the biggest part of that I'm excited for in Miami. But of course, there's other things as well. So I would say I'm a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, 11 out of 10. Everything else takes But listen, thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for being here. Thank you for going on the journey with us. I'll never forget the moment when I realized that my calling as an entrepreneur is to build, scale, and sell 10,000 tech companies in 10 years. I called a few people that were on my team at that time. They said they were in, and the rest is history. And we've really started the process. The amount of momentum that we've built since that moonshot showed up in my mind and pulled me to it and pushed me to it is off the charts. We've had over 14,000 people submit their tech ideas. Over 14,000 people from around the world shared their dreams with us. And I'm so proud to say that we have over 100 companies in our portfolio in 1 year. What we've been able to accomplish in this first year has never been done before. And we've laid the foundation to do what I call the 4-minute mile in entrepreneurship. Roger Bannister was once told it was physically impossible to run a 4-minute mile. No human being can do it. But he didn't choose to listen to that story. He had a different story. And the story was one of success. And when he ran the 4-minute mile, he set a new standard for every other athlete that was attempting. And this moment, every single year, there are thousands of high school athletes that are able to run under 4-minute miles because one man proved it was possible. Well, that's what we're doing here in the space of tech. We're democratizing technology. We're giving everyone a chance, regardless of their ethnicity or their skin color or their gender or their age or their geographic location or their educational background. When the right person shows up with the right idea and the right market and the right business model, we're going to give them a shot. We're going to co-found a company with them. We need your support. Because every night we have our show, we have people pitching us from around the world, and Eric and I have no idea who's going to show up. So we're going to make a decision based on the 5 minutes that they share. And if you see something that we don't, please share in the comments below. Influence our decision, because you're helping us co-author the story of entrepreneurship, where we build, scale, and sell 10,000 tech companies over the next 10 years. So with that, who's the first entrepreneur coming to the tank?
What if you knew about Instagram or Slack or Clubhouse when the company was raising a friends and family round at $10,000 per person? What if you were able to see all the tech companies that Grant Cardone and Jared Yellin have co-founded in one place and invest in any that excite you? What if you were able to expand your portfolio into early stage tech companies with extraordinary founders and teams? 10x Tech Angels is the most unique investment club that you will ever find, because not only will you see some of the most innovative tech companies at the lowest valuations ever, but you will also be educated on how to pick tech winners, meet other members of our community, and experience the excitement associated with taking an early idea to exit. Become one of the founding members of 10x Tech Angels for an exclusive offer with some extraordinary bonuses. To learn more, visit 10xtechangels.com.
And we're back from commercial break with another entrepreneur in the tank. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Ricky, and I am from Toronto, Ontario, as well as New York, back and forth.
Awesome, cool. Welcome to the tank. You have 5 minutes, Ricky. Please share your big tech idea.
Definitely. So we are predominantly a loyalty rewards points company. We do about $4.8 million in revenue per year. We've got 10 million loyalty members that we manage every year, obviously, and we're working with P&G and Kraft to shoot out coupons to these 10 million people as well. We do about $3.8 million in ARR already. And now what we're doing, and here's where the big idea comes in, is that we are, rather than just shooting out coupons for P&G and Kraft, we're also shooting out coupons for our own e-commerce stores that we are buying out and starting for other companies. Just makes sense. We're already shooting out P&G and Kraft coupons for 10 million people and getting paid pennies. Now, with our own e-commerce stores, we're going to be able to get $10 to $15 profit per sale. That's what we're getting already with the e-commerce store that we're trying to acquire right now, in the midst of acquiring. And the e-commerce store that we're acquiring does about $2.6 million in revenue. And by attaching and shooting out coupons for this e-commerce store, we would be able to get about 1 million orders in 2022, because we've got 10 million customers, 10% conversion rate, at an average AOV of $100. That could be $100 million in revenue. So we would go from.
Wait, did you say 100 million?
Yes.
Okay.
So we're going to go, and these are the numbers that are going to look scary and awesome. It's going to be from 2020, we did 2.8 million in revenue. 2021, we did about $4.8 million in revenue. And 2020, by shooting the coupons out and marrying the e-commerce plus the loyalty, we're going to be able to pull about 100 million. Now, here's the great part about why this is a great marriage together of these businesses. In the loyalty space, we can go back and we can look back, and I can tell you Joe's got a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old because Joe bought diapers 3 years ago and 7 years ago. We can tell you XYZ household that we see has got females in the house because they bought female hygiene products. Now we can shoot them out coupons for jewelry, handbags, women's clothing, a whole number of things. Same thing for men. We could tell you right now the e-commerce store that we're buying is centered towards sports clothing mostly. So we would be able to go back and see which household ends up buying a lot of beer, towards when there's Super Bowl going on. We know which household buys a lot of beer when there's golf tournaments going on, tennis tournaments going on. So we know what's the propensity of them buying a product that is geared towards tennis or golf or football. And not only will be able to push the coupons for apparels, but we'll also be able to push coupons for golf clubs, golf balls, baseballs, baseball bats, basketballs, etc.
Very cool. So do you have the data from the sales through Procter and Gamble, or you'll start having the data because you're going to own the e-commerce store?
So Procter and Gamble, what we're doing, let me clarify a little bit. So we have data from the past 10 to 12 years because we've been running our loyalty company for 10, 12 years. So Procter and Gamble, we just partnered up with them last year. We did a beta with them in February, March, and they came on our couponing engine that we developed for almost every company, but they're the first ones that are sending coupons out to our 10 million customers. So we already have the data for these people for the past 10 years. We take in 1 billion SKUs a month right now, and from the and we're in 2,300 stores.
Awesome. So how many e-commerce stores are you planning on buying?
Oh, we could, from the looks of it, if we niche down, we'll be able to buy out about 20 to 40 e-commerce stores that are going to be geared towards the interests. So women's clothing, children's clothing, kids clothing, men's clothing, niche store, DIY stores. And what we're looking for when we do want to buy these stores is the store should already be above $1 million to $2 million in revenue, producing a hefty profit, so that all the supply chains are already in place. You know, all the manpower, all the, you know, everybody else, all the talent is in place. All we want to do is buy them out, leave the owner with 10 to 20% in ownership so that they could keep running the store until we could put somebody in place, if the owner wants to leave, that we can replicate the owner.
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome. How'd you get the 10 million people on the list?
Pardon?
How'd you get the 10 million people on the list? How'd you do that?
So that is from the loyalty side, because we go in and we provide loyalty services, point services, reward services to grocery stores, hardware stores, and other stores. So that is what we did. We were at 800 stores in 2020. That is when we acquired one of another loyalty rewards company. And then this past December, we finished acquiring another loyalty company, which is the loyalty company of the biggest food wholesaler in Midwest. And by those two acquisitions, we went from 900 stores in 2020 starting to 2,300 stores in 2021 ending. And with all those stores come the people who already are their loyalty clients or already shopping there. So we manage their points, their data, you know, the address that they live at, all that lives on our servers. So that is pretty much our domain, or you know, where we could shoot out the coupons. Plus, when we do make sales on these loyalty customers, we also give a kickback to the store. So that is why they would entertain that. Yes, go ahead and, you know, shoot the coupons out. Plus,
how competitive of a space is like the coupon for e-commerce market? Because I think I've ordered things from e-commerce stores before, and I don't think I've ever gotten a coupon. So
definitely. So we're seeing when we're sending out curated coupons to people for Procter & Gamble and Kraft. So far we're just sending out coupons that you would buy product from the grocery store. So people take the coupon, they go to their grocery store that they're the loyalty members of, and they buy a product there, either a grocery store or a hardware store. So we've just been doing it for the past 3 months for Procter & Gamble and Kraft. On that end, we're seeing from 490 stores, we've seen 500,000 redemptions, because we only shot out coupons to 490 stores loyalty members. We saw 500,000 redemptions. We get paid on coupon clipping. So if somebody clips a digital coupon and puts it on their, you know, digital card, we get paid. On the other hand, we also send out email coupons, and we're seeing if we send a curated coupon that looks at your previous purchase history and we shoot out a coupon to you, we're seeing a 10% take rate.
That's awesome. What is your need? So is the need investment? Is the need promotion? Is the need a team to accelerate some aspects of development around this? Is it all of the above? Like, what's your specific need?
Definitely, pretty much all of the above. We need to, you know, acquire a couple of e-commerce store. We need to get people in place who are going to be able to manage them, manage the new workload. We also need a sales team that is going to be out there, number one, to acquire more loyalty companies, and to go and make relationships with companies like Coke, Pepsi, so that we could take their coupons and then put it into our engine. And thirdly, to go and get into cold call and get more grocery stores and hardware stores so that we could provide them the loyalty services.
Awesome. Let's see what Ricky thinks about this. Ricky's a fantastic entrepreneur with a track record, built a very successful business that is about to freaking pop. So you got to make sure you look out for this guy. Eric, what are your thoughts on next steps?
My thoughts on next steps would be, let's definitely head into due diligence. At first, I was extremely excited about the idea of the couponing. And then when you brought in all of the other things that you do, where it just started with couponing, I think it's incredibly interesting.
Yeah, and another thing is that, you know, this doesn't just end here. You know, we were earlier just doing a B2B play and getting our revenues B2B. Each store, 2,300 stores, we're charging them a monthly revenue. But once we headed into couponing with P&G, it's just opened up our eyes that the real value is on the customer side. You know, we could be providing them not only with e-commerce stuff. You know, we're talking to loan providers. We'd be able to find out maybe 1 million people who are ready to take a loan. because we know what is the address Mr. Smith has been living at for the past 10 years. His house has gone up in value. So he's got XYZ, 100, 300, $500,000 in equity that increased in his house. So he's, good for a refinance, for a loan, for whatever that is, for a financial product that would fit his needs.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm a yes too. So one of our other co-founders is kind of an icon in the e-com space, buying and selling these companies. I think there's a really interesting synergy between what he's already doing in the infrastructure he has and what you've done, which is extraordinarily impressive. So I'm a yes to go into due diligence. Fantastic presentation today. Really appreciate you being here.
Sweet.
After commercial break, we'll have another entrepreneur in the tank.
The insurance adjuster industry has not received much love in the space of innovation, ever. Professionals in this industry are faced with extremely arduous processes that make scaling difficult and quality of life poor. Claim Guru assists public adjusting businesses by providing powerful tools for managing every step of the claim process, from origination to settlement and beyond. In addition, Claim Guru will help professionals stay on top of their adjusting caseload, proactively guiding them through the process, which makes the customer experience significantly enhanced. Our client-centric approach helps to increase your company's capacity, providing you with the tools you need to grow and succeed. From lead management, contract execution, scheduling, claims filing, claims management, loss scoping, loss documentation, document creation and distribution, file transferring, claim activity documentation, task reminders and organization, form filling and filing, payment intake and distribution. The process is currently way too complex and time-consuming to allow for maximum profits. Until now, we invite you to take your public adjusting business to the next level by hiring a guru, the one and only Claim Guru.
We are back from commercial break with another entrepreneur in the tank. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, my name's English Hopkins and I'm calling from Boulder, Colorado.
Awesome. Thanks so much for being here. You have 5 minutes, English. Please share your big tech idea.
So I am interested in creating a big tech program to end homelessness. There's a situation where there's lots of resources for the homeless, but the connection of the homeless to the resources is missing. And so I'd like to create a big tech program that establishes a tech web of all the resources. It provides a support team to the people or to the homeless of people interfacing with the homeless to connect them to the tech. And then it takes it to another step where it guides them to housing and employment with that support team. And so basically what would need to happen is to create that tech web is there would be a need to using the technology to create a database that connects all the available resources in the cities in the United States that are established for the homeless. Refine and organize those resources into categories to determine which ones are safe, because there's a lot of resources out there that are questionable. And then direct the necessary staff from each category. The second step would be to establish an actual human support team that works between the technology and the homeless, because the homeless don't have, they have difficulty accessing the resources because they don't have access to technology, or the technology typically fails in working to connect them to the resources that exist. So providing people as an interface to the technology would actually create a solution.
Why does this matter to you? Like, what's your background in the space? What led you to wanting to solve this pretty severe challenge that exists?
I lived homeless. I'm a victim of domestic violence and ended up living homeless and having to pull myself out of homelessness and poverty. So I realized as I was recovering that the more I recovered, the easier it was for me to find resources because I had better access to technology. And while I was living homeless, I didn't have any access, or if I did have access, it was significantly limited, and it had a significantly limited time frame.
Got it. Congratulations for doing that. And going back now, I want to help other people. When you say resources, what does that mean? Like, is it like online training resources? Is it access to money? Is it access to shelter? Like, what are the resources that you're referring to?
Survival resources. So there are resources for housing, resources for shelter, resources for transportation, resources for money, resources for food, all different types of survival resources.
And would this be a nonprofit, or like what would be the source of, let's just call it revenue, that would come into this company?
Yeah, so the profit element would actually come from the organizations involved that you're joining, where you would provide where they would provide a fee to the business model, and the ability or the successful connection. The objective of the resources is to help the homeless. So with this business model, it would create a more efficient, productive, effective way of connecting the homeless to the resources. And so that would be the motivation for the resource agencies to pay the fee to join the business model. Currently, there's organizations that exist that are similar to this, but they're only in pieces. There's not one giant connection where all the resources are connected and organized. And then those resources have people connecting the homeless to the resources. It's just all in parts.
And how would you get the technology in front of the people that are homeless?
With staff members or people that actually are, I guess, placed into the world where the homeless most commonly are found. A lot of them are forced to hide, particularly at night. So, or a lot of them do hide out of fear or for different reasons. So you would have to get a staff of people out on the ground, actually interfacing with them to connect them to the technology. Or they
how do they stay connected? Do they have a device that they've used? And what is the technology? Is it more of just a website that has a list of resources that are local to them? So like, how do they stay connected, and what is the technology?
So everything already exists. As far as creating the design, what I'm thinking of is people who have laptops or little notepads, IT notepads, things like that, where they can, or cell phones. They're gonna have technology. When I say technology, I'm just saying use of like an iPhone or a laptop or something like that, where you can, when you connect with the person on the street, say, I'd like to, what are your needs? How can I help you restore your safety, your security, and then actually find the resource for them right there in that moment. Everything will be specific to the person, and that's part of what makes all of the resources out there difficult. Is I am interested in finding people with significant skills in IT, because I don't have them, who can form a team and actually help me or I guess form a team and then brainstorm really good ways to create effective platforms for the people to connect to, because there are so many different situations out there with the homeless. They have so many.
Definitely a noble cause, and your heart's in the right place. Let's see what our audience thinks. What are your thoughts about this idea? Is this something that we should move forward with in due diligence? Eric, what are you thinking?
So I think that this, you're hitting on a problem that absolutely needs to be solved, and millions, probably even billions of dollars, it goes into trying to solve this problem and then gets mismanaged, and there's all this kind of mess. And so what I hear that you want to do is to like effectively streamline those resources and get those resources in front of the people who need them, because sometimes the problem is they just don't know about them. I'm just not seeing exactly how and what technology we would build in order to do that, besides garnering a large team and then just getting people to be deployed into these communities. So for that reason, I don't think this idea is ready to head into due diligence, although I think you are tapping onto something that is extremely important to solve.
Yeah, and your heart is in the right place. I commend you deeply for being where you were to where you are now, and your desire to go lift others up is just, it's inspiring, to say the least. With regards to due diligence, like Eric, I don't see the tech in this. I know that was the term that you were using, but like you said, everything already exists. So this is more about like boots on the ground and building awareness of just what already exists. So for that reason, I'm a no for due diligence, only because we just build tech companies. We build software as a service, we build industry technology, we build country technology, and there's just no tech needed. And I don't want you to think that you need tech to do this. You need people on the ground that want to go out and help those that are in need, and just to build awareness, to educate them on the options that exist. So we're here to empower you to go and do that. You're absolutely amazing. Thank you for coming to the Tank. After commercial break, we'll have another entrepreneur in the Tank.
This is the great secret of my life. The thing that has made me is one word. Dude, this thing is so big. It's about the 10X movement.
The 10X movement had really improved my life dramatically.
Now I'm a millionaire because of it.
Our business was at $2 million. This year we're on projection to do $25 million.
Our revenue went up 29%.
We've already got our tickets for next year as well.
Before we even started, I could go home right now and I got my money's worth.
That's why I come to GrowthCon, and I'll always come to GrowthCon.
10X means a lot to me.
10X, like I told you, is just the beginning. 10 times more power to help those that need it the most. 10 times more power to motivate and inspire those out there. Give him a 10X!
With other people witnessing what's happening with us, is like chains are being broken from families everywhere.
I'm gonna tell you, 10X, it was a lifesaver, a life changer for me. And just because of what it's done for my family and what it's done for me.
And this is where people get stuck, and that's why we do the 10X Growth Conference, to get you out of comfort, to get you out of comparing yourself to somebody in Pakistan that has nothing.
We want to make this a big event for you. Our goal is to change your lives.
Welcome to your 10X Growth Conference.
So there we have it. Another tank completed. Entrepreneurs sharing their dreams, sharing their aspirations. I get the goosebumps every time somebody comes on, because I know how big of a moment it is for them. Most likely they've been preparing for weeks, or even for hours, or maybe the night before they were sitting down with their sister or their brother or their significant other or their spouse or their dog, and they're like, how does it sound? And they're trying to make sure that in the 5 minutes that they have in the tank, they're able to prove that they're the right person and that they intrigue us enough, and that they intrigue you enough and prove to you that you're the right person as well. And those that accomplish that feat, they get invited to go into due diligence with us, where our executive team in a virtual environment sits down for about an hour with each entrepreneur, and we go deep. We go really deep into who they are and their idea and the market they're looking to serve and their business model. And if everything ends up working, We're going to say, let's move forward. Let's co-found, let's build, scale, and sell your vision. But as you're watching this, I want to challenge you. You can be a spectator here, and we appreciate it. There's a major role in you showing up every night. But what if you're meant to become a tech founder? What if that idea that you scribbled on a piece of paper is meant to come to life? And what if you're the person that's meant to do it? Well, right now you're getting the goosebumps. You're like, oh my gosh, I feel like he's speaking directly at me. I am. And I invite you, head over to Pitch 10X. That's the number, pitch10x.com, and just submit your idea. Just do it right now before your logical mind kicks in and says that you're not fast enough or smart enough or you don't have what it takes. Before your logical mind kicks in, just do it. Fill out the application, let us review it, and maybe you'll have a chance to pitch us in the tank. So with that, thank you for being here. We appreciate your presence and your attendance. We'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now.
Which napkin will become the next exit? Which MVP will evolve into a unicorn? Which cash-flowing tech company will reach the next level? Our hope and desire is that it's yours. Your idea, your MVP, your cash-flowing tech company. Now is your time. Head over to 10xincubator.com and submit your idea so that you get on the tank and give us the chance to transform your napkin into an exit. That's 10xincubator.com. That's 10xincubator.com. Let's go.